Hello everybody, this is Sandeep here. Welcome to 12W12M webinar series conducted by eConstruct Design and Build Private Limited. In this particular session, we are going to study certain things about the post-analysis techniques or post-processing techniques. After doing the analysis during the last time, you might be knowing that we have conducted several different types of analysis, including the static analysis, dynamic analysis, P-delta, pushover, and many different types of analysis we have conducted during the last session. In this particular session, we are going to conduct certain things which are related to the after doing the analysis, what exactly as a structural engineer, as a civil engineer, you can study the behavior of the structure and analyze certain things. All right, so before making it too late, let's get started. One small point before starting, I just wanted to tell you that there are so many students from different colleges across the globe, not only in India but also in abroad, actually have enrolled the session, the series of session. In this particular session, all the way that we are going to study certain things about the post analysis, but what all the different types of sessions that we have conducted, I'll just give you the glimpse about those sessions within the next couple of minutes. All right, so those who are interested, you can contact your college people. Actually, the only few conditions are there from our side. One condition is actually you should be studying. Okay, if you have completed the studying and all, actually you will not be a part of, you can watch the videos, no problem about it, but the certifications and other things actually we may not be able to give you. Why? Because these type of events are the tie-ups between the industry and the academicians. All right, so in the first event, I would like to show you that what exactly we have done. The first event is like different awareness. What are the different avenues are there for the civil engineers? There are so many people, they see that there are no jobs, there are hardly any jobs are left out, and only the computer science and other people are getting very big jobs, and in civil engineering there are no jobs. So I wanted to remove that kind of myth. You just need to understand the potential that is lying in the mother of the engineering branch, which is civil engineering. There are so many videos that we have conducted. Mother engineering is what? Mother engineering is the first engineering branch from which all the other branches has been evolved. Many project management techniques, whether it is a PERT, CPM or PMP, many techniques has been evolved from the civil engineering branch. So that's the first engineering branch. When it comes to the engineering, whatever the tools, techniques, the process, and the kind of the research, from the prototype research to the actual research and the implementation of that, and what are the flows and all are there. Every particular engineering research has been first incorporated in the civil engineering, and then the other branches has been evolved, right? Mechanical, electrical, those are the basic branches, but first is the civil engineering. Ancient caves, also the Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, so many things actually it has been evolved from the civil engineering branch. Okay, they will not be knowing the name of civil engineering, but it was lying there from ages and ages. So please understand the potential on which you are sitting, or on which your foundation of the career is laying, and then talk about that there is no scope or something like that. Yes, there might be certain areas, certain challenges, and those challenges are there in every particular discipline. If you go to the computer structures and all, actually you need to be exactly on 24/7 in front of the jobs, and the screens and all actually, and over the period of time fatigueness will come, and there is no life there as of I feel. Why? Because there is no reality. Everything is there in the jumbo box. There is no physical reality in the computer science. But whereas as a civil engineer, when you see the dams, harbors, ports and all, actually you will see that something is the real. That's why it is known as real estate industry, right? Real estate. All right, so that's not called in the computer science or in mechanical or in some other places. Whenever we wanting to buy certain property or something, actually we call it as immovable permanent property. Okay, so whatever other properties that you buy might be having, it is something like related to the car or some other software or something. Actually, it keeps on changing. It might be, it keeps on upgrading, so it is not static. So there are so many challenges are there in other disciplines, but when it comes to the civil engineering, we call it as real estate, means it is more stable, it is having a longevity. There are so many, it cannot be, nobody can be able to steal it and take it or hack it. So many advantages are there. I'm not saying that there are no challenges. As other disciplines in civil engineering also there are challenges, but I wanted to tell you there is a lot of potential is lying in our own branches. So let's evaluate that particular thing. We have conducted one entire webinar, and this those who are not knowing that, you can WhatsApp your college details. The only one condition is you should be studying in a particular college, and your placement officers or your HOD should contact to us so that we can enroll your college names actually in our company portal, and then we can do the further certifications and all. Alright, so let's get started. First event that we have conducted was the avenues and all. So what are the different avenues are there? So sectorial avenues are there, public sector, PSU, and you can see that BHEL, ONGC, NTPC, all the public sectors companies are there, government sectors are there. Then you can see the local Indian companies. Okay, so these are the company. You can pause the videos and you can take certain screenshots and all actually so that you can think that what kind of opportunities are there. International companies are also there. Envisage, Afcons, ICOM, Jacobs, Ramboll actually was the company where I have worked for a very long time, 5 to 6 years. So like that, so many companies, international companies, you will see that, they are recruiting the civil structural engineers and project managers and all. All right. So sectorial based avenues, what are the sectorial based avenues? Corporate sector, government sector, private sector, public sector, local international companies and all are there. So if you see that many sectors are involved. So let's say, for example, if you go to the building sector, okay, this is because if you see that residential, commercial, industrial, infrastructure, railway, all this actually the public sector. Currently so many people will say, sir, railway, how can that be a public sector? You might be knowing there is a public IPO has come, so obviously there is some kind of areas in the railways, and the second IPO is also coming, which is basically for the finance. So obviously it has become a public sector. All right. So building sector also you are having, because in railways there are so many buildings, the railway quarters and so many things are there. So obviously residential, commercial, all this actually will come under the building sector. Another one is subject to the whatever the subject that you are liking. Based on that also the so many avenues are there which are related to the geotechnical engineering. You can do the geotechnical consultation, like giving the SBC, or maybe for tunneling it is required, for the earthen dam it is required. Many places the geotechnical engineers are required. Surveying is like, we are using the current surveys of the Britishers, to be very honest. We do not have the real-time survey maps. Even with the GPS and all, that where the hell you are standing on this entire planet, but you don't know where is your plot line. Okay, that is the irony of this country. So we definitely required a lot of awareness in the surveying. All right, when I was there in Dubai, the GPS coordinate was there. I am dreaming, at least in my life, I can see that, if I'm purchasing the plot, there would be the 4 GPS coordinate, that this is the plot line, that you are, somebody is not encroaching it, and somebody is not, putting somebody else's name or reservations, many problems are there. So, if a lot of revolution and energy creation is required in the surveying branch, a lot of innovation is required, a lot of digitalization is required. The mapping, surveying, and through the GPS, I'm sure that with the ArcGIS and many other softwares, actually this particular branch can be revived over the period of time. Structural engineering is also one of the branch where you can become a structural engineer. You can work with some other companies and all. Actually, environmental engineer, project transportation engineer. Yes, there are pros and cons. Let's say, for example, you are a transportation engineer. You always need to be lied with the contractor or with the government. You cannot just say that I want to have a road here. It's a public property, so you unless and until it's a private inside, you know, your property road, you will not be able to get a chance in the transportation engineering. But I'm not saying there is no scope. The only thing is you can do with the let's say, for example, in the project management in that particular area, BIM technology, in that you will see that you can take up certain government contracts and you can deal with you know, the project management PERT chart, CPM chart and all, actually how you can economize cutting volume of cutting, filling quantities and all. So those kind of things are there in the transportation. Project management is a little versatile branch. If you ask me, the project management, if you are a project manager, you can work with every single discipline in this particular area. Why? Because it's a very versatile and you know, flexible kind of branch. Project management is getting into, even if you go to the IPL, for example, there is it's a project, so you need to have some kind of project management, how to make a launch and all. If there is a satellite, you need to do the project management. If you are doing certain software development, there is a project management. So project management is a very vast. Only the civil engineers is not only the it's not only the domain. There are so many domains are there. So we have seen so many estimation, costing, planning, designing and all, actually. So we have seen so many avenues like this. Okay, and the first few sessions. Okay, industry based avenues are there. Okay, real estate industry, as I told you initially, it's not only the buying and selling, you need to maintain the properties. So there is an audit, structural audit would be there, many other things would be there. So a lot of real estate companies are there where unfortunately civil engineers are not getting recruited. And if you really want to, I mean, there is a lot of work actually we need to do, that how the real estate industry, I mean, if you see that you go to UK, for example, you will see the buildings which are 350 years old building, just like new, right? So but in India, what is happening? Cement is cement, steel is steel, everything is same, right? But still after 25-30 years old building, actually you'll see that, oh, this is an old building. What the heck is really happening? Okay, it's a national resource, national you know, loss. The resource loss that is happening actually. So we really need to revamp this industry and make sure that, because, and later on people, they see that what is your rate, how many rupees per square foot, that's the rate as a contractor that you are quoting. So definitely there is a lot of revampment, the changes, transformation, not only the change, the transformation is required actually. And believe me, crores of rupees. If you see that the first sector in India is the real estate sector, the construction sector. Okay, somebody will say, as per the statistic, agriculture is not the agriculture is the first sector, but my father is a farmer. I still know that agriculture is completely disorganized sector. If you've seen that many you know, the people who are talking about the agriculture and all, believe me, what they are thinking, they are talking actually, the proper industrialization of the agriculture has not happened, unfortunately. All right, so but I wanted to tell you that proper industrialization of the construction industry has happened. Why it has not happened in the agriculture industry? There are so many problems are there which are related to the rain, which are related to the land, which are related to you know, because it's a food, so there is always a sympathy. All right, so you might be knowing that currently also in Delhi there are so many things are happening. Okay, and there is a lot of you know, fighting is happening. So agricultural is not the first industry when it comes to the industrialization. The first industry in India when it comes to the quantum of money and all, actually it is only the construction industry, the real estate industry, where all the things are coming, all the money is flowing. So in that case you can see that real estate industry is there, then construction industry, then interior, transportation, in all the ways. All right, so industry based revenues is there, skill based revenues is there. Skill based revenues is public sector, you know, technical skills, mathematical skill, the leadership. You can just take the snapshot of this, what may be like cooking skills actually. Like let's say for example, if you have got enrolled in a company called L&T, and you know, there is a highway going on in the middle of the jungle. Okay, there is no cooking facility and all. So in that case, what do you do? Okay, so it's very important for us to understand that these kind of you know, skills would definitely help you out. Okay, so it's a skill ultimately. So what kind of skills that you require? Because so many people, they say khana banana aata hai, can you do the driving, these kind of skills are definitely, I'm not saying that are only the skills through which your recruitment happens, but these skills will make you eligible to go to the higher levels of roles and responsibilities. All right, so skill based avenues are also there. When you go to the industry based avenue, we have seen that sectorial based avenues are also there, where different sectors are let's say software based avenues, subject based avenues. Software based means what kind of softwares are there. Okay, so let's say we'll go to the software based avenue. So many people, let's say for example, I know the ETABS software. Okay, and I have somebody else, I got the requirement in the ETABS, so that's why the recruitment is happening. Somebody knows Tekla, somebody knows, for example, the Midas software, somebody knows the SAP 2000 software. So these kind of software, somebody knows Revit software. So depending upon the requirement of the software, what are the BIM, if you want to work on the BIM system, these are the softwares that you should know. Okay, I'm not saying all the softwares, but at least more than 50-60% of the softwares you must know it. Right, if you want to become a structural engineer, at least more than 50-60% softwares which is given in this particular list, you should be knowing it. All right, if you want to go for the infrastructure, or maybe you want to go for the geotechnical engineering, these particular software avenues will improve your career to the maximum extent. All right, so these are the software based avenues in the current era of the 21st century, where the IT sector is there. All right, so if you see that in the IT sector, the software is one of the key, basically, that you should understand that in the software. Why? Because you guys are not having the experience. Let's come to the reality, right? If you come out of the college, actually, how the experience you will get it. So only one thing that you will be having is the expertise towards the software. So it will definitely help you. Many people, they say that only softwares, actually, if you learn, will you get the proper jobs in the MNC companies and all? It will never happen. Why? Because along with the softwares, you require very, very fundamental things. What are the fundamental things? First thing is actually software. Along with the software, you require the code-based knowledge. All right, the third thing which you required is the engineering principle. Engineering principles, so structural engineering principles, project management principles, surveying, and other engineering principles you required. And fourth thing is actually the live projects. Okay, expertise. So these four things are required. Only software if you know, only gearbox if you know, actually you cannot drive a car. Let's come to the reality. Civil engineering is the industry where you require to understand that this is experiential knowledge. All right, experiential knowledge. So if you see that software based requirement, code based requirement, or engineering based requirement, and the live project expertise requirement is there. Okay, if you know one or two softwares, or if you know 5 different softwares, but you have not worked on any of the software in the real time project, actually it is of no use. It is something like, I know the gearbox, I know the steering, I know this thing, but I have not drawn the car. I was just, car is not started, I was just planning inside the garage. Can you become a driver? It's impossible. Am I right? Let's come to the reality. You cannot become a driver. Right? So for driving, what do you require? First one is, yes, you should know that what is gearbox, what is basically the clutch, brake, and all, actually the steering. Along with that, you require the traffic rules, which is code-based knowledge, right? The second thing is code-based knowledge. So traffic rules, one way means what? Right? How to go, let's say for example, in which particular speed. So judgment based is also required. So you should have a judgment. Imagine that you know the car through and through, but while driving in the middle of the drive, actually, if somebody comes in front of you, all clutch will be pressed, brake will be pressed, accelerator will be pressed. Okay, so we call it as the formulation. Go, like that. Imagine that somebody is coming in front of your car. Actually, you have forgotten. You know that the brake is for stopping the car, but accelerator is also, because at that instantaneous moment, actually, you've forgotten the principles. You've forgotten, right? So we call it as frameworks. when you go to a company, actually, I generally, in one, I will not take the name in public. I have gone and one of the topmost college actually, in India, for the project management and all. Actually, I have gone there and I asked what is generally the floor to floor height for the residential building. The girl said that it is 3 feet. I said, what, 3 feet? 3 people were there in front of me. What is the floor to floor height? Generally, for a particular residential building, this, she said, 3 feet. All right. Then I asked other two guys, actually, what is your experience? What is the general floor to floor height for the residential building? Other people also said, yes, sir, 3 feet. Then I asked the girl, actually, what is your height? Oops. Then she realized something is wrong. Understood? So answer 3 is right, but feet is wrong. So it's 3 meters generally. So all right. So it is in the range of 10 feet. At least that's a general answer that I was thinking. So the framework, I'm trying to tell you, the framework about the unit system. It's not only the code. It's not only it's something about, the really common areas. And after spending, let's say 15 lakhs or something, actually, if you are having this kind of knowledge, it's of no use to the industry. All right. So please understand all these principles. If you know only softwares, it doesn't work. If you know only codes, it doesn't work. You should know the judgment of all this. Then only you can drive a vehicle. You can get a proper job, or you can work on the particular project. All right. So avenues, you should work on all this. Okay, so this is what actually we have explained it in the very, very first session. But if you want to look into it in detail, I have explained that because a lot of sessions I have taken. In September we have started, then like that we have started with the October, in which we have studied the centerline plan, superimposed plan, and other things actually. Okay, so you will see that details in those kind of the videos. If you are not getting the videos, please ask the WhatsApp number which is given on our website or in the description box below. You'll get the links of those areas. You go to the, let's say, November month, we have seen many things related to the grid system. So is it a portal frame analysis, is it a space frame analysis and all actually. So those things we have studied during the grid systems. Okay, so grid system, it was there in the month of November. In the December month, we have seen, and during the last month we have seen the different types of analysis, the static analysis, dynamic analysis and all, the uses, the requirement and all. If you have not gone through this kind of videos, please subscribe to our channel, and you can go to those videos, or you can ask to the WhatsApp number given below. We'll be giving, because certain videos we are not airing for continuously because of certain reasons, because this is basically 12W 12M sessions. All right, so after the December is over, 2021 I started the new year. Okay, I would like to wish you a very happy new year to everyone. All right, so in this particular year, what all the sessions are there, so January, February, all these sessions would be there. Okay, so stay tuned, you will get a lot of information. All right, so let's say post-processing techniques, what is this, and what all the different techniques are there. Because after you do the analysis, let's say static analysis, dynamic, what is basically post-processing technique? Let's look into that. All right, so let's say, for example, you got certain problems with your body, right? So I got some headache or maybe fever or something like that. So what do? You go to the hospital or maybe a clinic or a doctor. The doctor will take your pulse, he will check the BP, he will check, the body temperature and all actually, and he will say, do like this. He will try to at least identify that what are the symptoms. The body is giving certain signals basically, right? So that is one type of analysis, believe me, right? One type of analysis. Another type of, if something, oh my god, this might be corona, this might be something else, so he will do the blood test. Further analysis he will do, blood test, which kind of blood test, hemoglobin he will do the thyroid profile and all actually. So varied variety of different analysis he will commit, so that he will ask you to conduct it, so that what will happen is he will have a lot of data in front of him to make a, the proper diagnosis that what's really happening, why the body is behaving like this. Understood? All right, so this is basically the the medical analysis. When it comes to the civil engineering or structural engineering analysis, same types of analysis are there, like the static analysis, dynamic analysis, many different types of analysis are there. Furthermore, analysis, so let's say for example, if there are deflection issues and all, actually you will go to the creep analysis, you will go to the long-term performance analysis. So many different types of analysis we have seen during the last session. In this session, after performing the analysis, how are you going to check it? That's the thing that we are going to conduct. I mean, somebody will say that sir, how does it matter, or how basically it will be checked and all. Actually, see, to be very honest, I wanted to tell you that when it comes with the structural analysis, it's not only one type of analysis you are going to study. It's modal analysis is there, static analysis is there, dynamic analysis is there, varied variety of different analysis is there. So one type of analysis results will not be matching with the another type of analysis results. All right, so just open one particular file and show you in reality, so that you will understand what I'm saying. All right, so I'll just open one software in which I'll just show you the types of analysis and the results and all. Imagine that, for example, some of you might not be knowing what is creep analysis. Imagine that you are a doctor and you don't know hemoglobin. Oops, what is this? Hemoglobin? Wait, let me Google it. How to check the hemoglobin? If that kind of doctor, if you are going, actually, what will be the situation? You will change the doctor. He doesn't know hemoglobin also, the levels of that. Understood? Similarly, what is creep analysis? You don't know. You need to understand that. Creep in the college, actually, only one type of analysis is getting conducted. That is linear static analysis. And then all other parameters would be there. Let's say, for example, deflections, then bending moment, shear force and all. Actually, I'm not, giving any kind of justice to that, because just within 1 year, because it is very tightly packed as a civil engineering course. Actually, it's very tightly packed. It's not, they cannot just focus only on the structural branch. They need to work on other branches also. They need to complete their syllabus also. So they cannot combine all the different types, actually. So, but what happens is, the person who wanted to do the, structural engineering or something like that, he lose the focus. That's what it is happening. Understood? So what actually has to be changed and all is a separate question. We cannot change the universities, college people, or maybe the syllabus and all. It's impossible. Let's face the reality. Right? So what you need to do is, you need to focus on certain, other parameters than the colleges, so that you can get certain practical touch. That's what we have started. Understood? So when it comes to the, let's say, for example, if you know the blood report or something, actually, you know how to check the blood. Okay, thyroid, what you need to check, test. That also, there are more than 250 different cases when it comes to the blood. How thinner it is there, how thicker it is there. Right, so many different types of analysis are there only when it comes to only blood. Similarly, when it comes to the civil structural engineering, varied variety of different types of analysis is there. And how to check that analysis, what kind of parameters you need to give for conducting that analysis, that is also extremely important. What kind of parameters when to do, what to do, how to do, and after doing the analysis, how to check. So all these parameters are definitely important. All right, otherwise you cannot be a good doctor. You cannot be a very good structural engineer when it comes to the designing of that one person will die. Here hundreds and thousands will die if the building gets collapsed, or they will suffer. if the serviceability parameters are not met. All right, so all these things are important as a to consider. And believe me, or in BTech it has been taught, MTech it has been taught, it is not like that. Okay, somehow actually in all the 6 years, I don't know, hardly these particular parameters are taught in a very systematic way somehow actually. So we really need to revamp, and that's why we are making collaborations with many of the college, universities, and other people, so that this expertise will be taught to the guys before you pass out from the colleges. All right, so those who are watching and from the college point of view, please make ties with us. Why? It will not only help you in person, it will help to your students, your fellow students, and maybe the ex-students which are passed out also, right? So the post-processing techniques. So let's see that what are the post-processing techniques and how to basically do the analysis. If you go here, you will see that there are different types of analysis. So let's say dead load, live load, all this, and different cases are there. You can add the different cases also. Let's say linear static, non-linear static, non-linear construction stage analysis, response spectrum analysis, time history analysis, buckling analysis, hyperstatic analysis. So many different types of analysis are there. All right, so and it's not like if you know this, you have become in one project you might require more than 60-70% of the analysis also, right? Let's say, and there is a lot of, it's a very big chapter or a topic actually, construction. If you see that construction stage analysis, for example, all right, you can see that you can add different stages. You will have the tree diagrams in which you will see that different outputs that you can give. Okay, and you can expand the stages if you want. Let's say, for example, I'll just show you one of the area. Let's say, for example, I'll go to the auto sequence stages, and if I add this, I'll go to the P delta and auto sequential stage construction sequence analysis. So here you can see that varied variety of construction stages are there. Okay, what are the different stages? Okay, and you can expand the different stages and what are happening in a particular stage and all. So it's not only one type of analysis that we are talking about, boss. Let me tell you very straight. Okay, when to use first. Okay, otherwise you are a patient. Okay, you don't know which particular injection is given. All the injection you add it. Many people actually they do that research R&D with the patients. What do you have? Temperature, corona is going. Actually currently the that situation is not there, but after probably 4-5 months or 6 months, 8 months, actually everybody will have fever and all. Actually corona, take this strange. That would be a part of the business probably. I don't know. Okay, why? Because some people might not be knowing that how to diagnose. All right, so I'm not saying that actually structural engineers, every particular patient is different based on the requirement and all. You need to give the particular medicine. Similarly, structural engineering also, depending upon the type of project and all, you need to give the particular analysis. So a good doctor, what he will do is based on the patient's he will diagnose first what exactly has happened, and similarly based on that he will try to understand that whether this is the cause, because of that it is happening, and then he will apply that kind of medicine or the injection. So similarly in the structural engineering also, depending upon the requirement, what kind of things are there. The requirement is related to the static analysis, dynamic analysis and all. He will apply that kind of analysis, and by depending upon that actually he will perform the analysis and he will get the results and he will do the scrutiny. All right, so after the analysis, what all the different things are there? So let's see that also. After the analysis gets over, you would require definitely to check many things. First of all, actually, what are the loads and load combinations? Okay, so let's see what are the loads and load combinations are there when it comes to the Indian code. Okay, other international codes are having other things. Okay, so we'll just see the Indian class first and then we'll see the other international codes a little bit also. So let's say the load combinations. If you see the load combinations, what all the load combinations are there, because these are very important. The load combinations are actually 1.5 times dead load plus 1.5 times live load. This is the first fundamental combination. We call it as UDL, right? The second combination is 1.5 times dead load plus or minus 1.5 times earthquake load or wind load. Then 1.2 times dead load plus 1.2 times live load plus or minus 1.2 times earthquake load or wind load. All right. Now, what is the another combinations, other sets of combinations? Yes, 0.9 times dead load plus or minus 1.5 times earthquake load or wind load. Okay. So generally, I'm not telling that these are the only combinations. Generally, these are the combinations are there. Earthquake load, you will have earthquake in X, earthquake in Y. Okay, sometimes you if there is a cantilever, so many cantilevers are there, there will be earthquake in Z also. So this will be earthquake in this would be, let's say for example, static. Sometimes earthquake will be there in the dynamic. So spectral X and spectral Y. So it will be dynamic. So if you ask me the wind load, wind X, wind Y. Okay, so wind effect also will be, probably it will be, this is the static analysis. So sometimes you will have the wind gust calculations. So WDX, which is wind dynamic X. Sometimes there is a wind tunnel analysis, wind tunnel X, wind tunnel Y. Okay, and it is plus and minus. So there is a lot of things actually which is combined. And which combination will you use? I will choose, this is a big one, so let's use this one. No, you need to use the worst load combination. Understood? So many things would be technically you should understand, and how to apply that kind of things also, you know, you need to go through it. So let's see that in a particular project, how basically you are going to do the analysis. Now I'll just take a simple project instead of the complicated one. This is 43-story building. I'll just show you after the running the analysis. So let's say I'll just go to the simple project. Let's say I'll go to the Indian code, and let's say I'll go to IS code, and here I'll just say okay here, and I'll go to, let's say, the flat slab with the perimeter beam. So you'll have the beams and slabs also. I'll give certain loads here. Okay, so you will run the analysis for this, but for that I will add the earthquake loads also. Okay, so once you do that, it will generate the model. Now I will apply certain earthquake loads also. So let's say for example, I'll go to the load cases. So I'll go to the, let's say for example, earthquake in X direction. So let's say for example here I'll go to the earthquake in X direction. Here I'll give that in the X direction. I'll keep this same for the time being, but you need to apply that properly based on the code requirement. I'll apply that in Y directions and all. Okay, and then I'll apply the wind load. So wind X. So this one will go to the wind load, and you will go to the wind load, addition of wind load here, and wind in Y direction also I'll be adding. Understood? So from here you will see that what would be the, let's say for example here it is, let's say 0 degrees wind X, and here I'll go to the 90 degrees. Okay, why? Because based on the degrees, the angle of application of the load will change. So Wx will be in the X. You can see the X here. All right. So based on that, actually it will be considered in the X direction. All right. And you can see the Y direction here. So it will be applied to the Y direction. Okay. So I'll just show you that also in the arrow. So X direction, whenever you are applying, that will be applied to the building in this direction, because this one is X, and it will be applied to the Y direction because this one is Y. All right, so you can see that Y direction and X directions are given here, and based on that you will be working. So earthquake load we have given here and wind loads we have given here, right? These are in static format. So we'll just see the dynamic format also. Okay, so what else we can do? We can go here and add a certain dynamic load cases if you want. From here, this is static, so similarly you can go to the dynamic analysis, let's say for example response spectrum and all. Okay, so that cases also you can add it, but currently we will consider only these particular static forces. So let's get started. I'll just run the analysis with certain file name. I'll just give any particular file name and I'll start. Before that, I'll just show you the live project also. This is the construction sequence analysis that's going on for the live project. This is 43-story building in which you will study the sequence analysis also, but here you will take that as a prototype, the smaller version, so that you will understand the concepts basically. All right, so the analysis is happening. This is the flat slab. You can see that it's a very regular grid, easy to understand and all. The first thing that you will study is the deflection shape. Okay, and you can see that at a particular glance, you can easily see that the the XYZ dimensions are happening. Okay, it means let's say at this place, whenever you will see the picture, you will see that X, Y, Z, Rx, Ry, Rz. So all the figures will be there over here. Okay, you can see that Ux, Uy, Uz, Rx, Ry, Rz. So all these things are happening. Why? Because you will get the translation and you will get the rotation also. Understood? Yeah, so this is how actually the deflection shape is there. So let's say for example, if you want to see the contours in the color form, so you will see that in the color forms also. Okay, so you can see that at the bottom side you will see the what is the minimum deflection, what is the maximum deflection, minimum deflection. So you can see the blue color or the green color is the lesser deflection. Okay, and if you see the red color or a pink color, it is the maximum deflection. So you can see that where exactly you need to focus basically. So it's the first thing that you will see the when it comes to the analysis, the deflection shape, the dead load deflection shape is very important. How much amount of deflection is coming. So whenever you run the analysis, please make sure that the dead load deflection is proper, the shape is proper, and if you want to see the animation, you can just start here the animation and you will see the deflection shape also, how the animation is happening. So you will see that the behavior of the structure, which is its own self-weight. Understood? So this is the type of animation that the software will show you. Okay, how basically the building will be behaving with its own dead load. So similarly, if you want to see the same type of animation in the earthquake in X direction, so you can see that the X direction, actually the animation is happening. The forces are going, the deflection is happening in X direction, right? So why? Because this is the let's say for instance the earthquake in X direction that is there. See here, earthquake in X direction. Okay, now similarly, if you want to see the earthquake in the Y direction, let's say for example, I'll just show you in the Y direction. This is under the Y direction. So this is Y and this also need to be there under the Y. Okay, so this is the deflection shape. So similarly, like that kind of shapes would be there. Okay, so it depends on what exactly you are going to get the deflections and all. Also the behavior study also will be there for you. Okay, I think there is some buffering problem. I'll just close this. I'm sorry. All right, so let's say, for example, there is a live project now. I'll just show you the live project also. Now, this is the analysis that's going on. You can see that the analysis is happening. It will take a little bit more time probably, because the sequence analysis of 43-story building takes a little longer time. All right, so along with the deflection shape, what all the other things that you can study? So let's say, for example, you want to see the bending moment diagram. So this is the bending moment diagram. Okay, so this is the bending moment diagram of a column and as a beam. You can see that this is the column bending moment diagram. In the dead load, I want to see that in the earthquake load, for example. You can see that in the earthquake load, this is the bending moment diagram. This is in y direction, so you can see the bending moment diagram specifically in the y direction. Understood? Why? Because the y direction is in this direction. So you are applying the force in this direction. Obviously, the bending moment at this will be less. Okay, but bending moment at this particular frames will be more. Understood? Okay, so this is how the post-processing analysis is what actually will study. Imagine that you want to study the shear force diagram. So this is the shear force under the y direction. So you want to see that in the dead load, live load. So this is the shear force diagram. Understood? So this is how actually you will study this. So there are so many torsion diagrams is also there. Now these are, I want to see the axial forces in the columns, the gravity forces like this you can see. No, I'm not happy with this. I want to see the values also. You can scroll your mouse, you will see the values. No, I want to see the values marked everywhere. So I need not search. So you can click this button. Okay, given here, this one, so that you can click the values. You can just say apply here. And you will see the values. Okay, so let's say 134.2938. Now this is crazy. I don't want this number to be like that. So you can go to one place where you can define that. Okay, I wanted to give the decimal point a little bit less, let's say 1, and just say okay. And then you apply this. Decimal unit, relative distance, 1 minute. Yeah, the forces you need to give because it's a force. So I'll just apply. I'm sorry. So you can see that here 134.3 actually, because we are given the decimal point as 1. Understood? So it's very, now this is a little clumsy. I'm not able to see anything. So let's say from here I'll hide the shear walls and floors and all actually. And you can take up the photograph of this and print it. Understood? I'm not getting actually certain thing. Let's say for example I want to go to the base and design the foundations. Okay, all right, go to the foundation base. Okay, now this is the base. Now you want to study that, you need to give the forces here. So let's say for example these are the arrows. Okay, so you will get the forces out here. You can scroll your mouse and you will get it. The forces, force value also you will get it here. But still no, actually I'm not able to see that properly. Fine. So what you do is you go here in the same option and you go to the tabulated form. Now is it okay? No, still I'm not able to go into take the printout. You go to the plan, for example, go to the base. Wow, this is what I need. Right? So you'll get the fx, fy and you will get the fz. What about other loads? Okay, no problem. You go to the live load, you will take this. You will go to the earthquake load, you will take this. Understood? No, but I want to have the worst load combination. Don't worry, there is an option. You go to the load combinations, you add the default load combinations as per the, let's say, the concrete frame design. Okay, and you will add a combination. Okay, go to the add new, and in which you will add the combination. Inside the combination also it is possible. So let's say you'll add combination 1, you'll add the combination 2, you will add the combination 3, like that. Actually, ideally you should be adding all the combinations. I'll add only few of them because of the time constraint. Okay, 26, 25. Look, let's say only I'll add the combination. This is your envelope combination. I'll give the envelope here, and make sure that you will be changing this to the envelope here. All right, so from here I'll be selecting combination as an envelope. Boom. What about the bending moments? Don't worry. You click the bending moments, you will get everything that is needed. Now the bending moment, it is not coming. Yes, why? Because if you go here, it is a hinge support. But I want that. Okay, unlock the model. Go to the base. Give the support as a fixed support. Run the analysis. Okay, so after running the analysis, you will get the, as you know, that hinge support, you will have only 3 degrees of freedom. And fixed supports are having 0 degrees of freedom. So you'll get all the results. Understood? So you'll go here, and now you'll see all the 6 results. Boom. Understood? So this is how the post-processing techniques would help you genuinely, seriously. All right. So once you are done, like let's say for example, but I want to see certain graphs or certain things. Don't worry. You go here. Okay. Let's say I want to see let's say for example, the one particular grid. Okay, no problem. You go to the elevation, you will see the grid. I want to see the bending moment and along the grid. Okay, no problem. I'll see the bending moment along the grid. That to worst combination. I want to see the dead load load. Okay, you'll see dead load load. I want to see worst load. You go to the envelope and see the worst load combination. Boom. For this, you can pick up the value, put that in the spreadsheet and design it. Matter is over. Understood? The torsion value, shear force value, axial force value in the columns. I want to see all the columns in one line, for example. Okay, so you go to, let's say for example, any particular floor. You go to add, develop the elevation. So I'll just say okay, from here to here to here to here. I think I've done a mistake. Yeah, because I have not clicked that point properly. I'll just click it one more time. I'll go to developed elevation from here to here to here. Here to here, and I'll right click it. Boom, all the columns in front of you. I want to see the bending moment, axial forces of all the columns. The only thing is, since this particular thing has not been done before, that's why the bending moment is not shown. All right, so but you can see all the columns. Let's say I'll go to the select object type of all the columns. Only the columns will be selected. Then you can go to this option and see the bending moment or the axial forces of all the columns. All right, what about the bending moment in the slab? Oops. So let's see that also. Let's go to, let's say for example, I'll go here. Okay, and I'll see I'll show you the bending moment of the slab. So let's say for example, you go here and the bending moment about the slab, envelope bending moment about the slab. This is undeformed shape. I want to see the deformed shape. Okay, don't worry, I'll get the deformed shape also. Any extrusion shape or something like that to see that in proper way. Extrusion shape. Understood? So varied variety of the options are available. Okay, let's say for example I have given the bending moment. I want to design that as a PT, post tensioning, and see the effect of what is the bending moment coming here and all actually. So you can go to the section cut, and here you will get the results. I want to see some reports or something like that. You go to, let's say this, there is a graph. Let's say for example you want to see the drift, you want to see the, let's say, maximum story displacement, the base shear. So let's say EX, what is the base shear? You want to see, let's say, the instead of the base shear, you want to see the deflections. What is the attolateral forces, the forces acting on it? You will see that here. Can I see that in the 3D view? Yes, you can see that also in the 3D view. I'll just go here. You can go to this option, and you can give the earthquake loads in the X directions, or in the Y directions. Just a minute. So this is the force coming on this, and let's say in the Y direction you will see the force in the coming on this. So this is the force acting on the surface in the diaphragm center. So what is this diaphragm? This is the diaphragm, my dear. This is like a controlling point, actually, the center of mass and center of stiffness. So that's the point where entire mass or the stiffness is concentrated. Understood? So all the techniques are there. Many techniques are there. And this is not only one technique. If you are going to the actual live project also, you will see that this is the live project in which you will go to the 3D view. Now this is in plan. You can go to the 3D view and you can see the deflections and other things. It takes a little bit more time. That's why I use the simple project actually. It's easy for doing the maneuvering and all. So you'll see that all the figures which I've shown you first. Then similarly, you go to this place and go to the, let's say for example, the deflections in UZ. If that is the situations, it will show you the deflection diagram in the contour format in the Z directions. Shear force bending moment diagram. The same thing will be applied to this particular live project also. See this. You'll see the animations and many other things. Okay, so you can use the prototype technique, learn it from here and use it to the live project. Okay, so generally this is what we train, and we help the people to understand how does it work. Okay, so we have seen many graphs, techniques and all actually. So I hope you might have learned quite a lot of things from this. These are not only the techniques and tools, these are actually the professional way of showing the reports. So let's say for example, if somebody want to see the report, you can go to the show tables and see the reports. So let's say for example, I want to see the report. Okay, I'll from here, these are just the tables. So let's say I'll go to the deflections and this. So you'll get the tabulated format, which you can just click it and export it to the Excel also. So let's say I'll export it to the Excel. The Excel will pop up and it will be exported directly to the Excel. Understood? This is the one option. Another thing is I want to see that in a particular report, you are the, let's say it's the summary report I'll create. So it will be creating the report in front of you guys. So you can see that this is the report. You press this W, it will be exported to the Word. Okay, so this kind of report along with the page number and all actually will be exported directly to the Word. So I'll just open it in the Word. I have exported just now. Okay, so word will be popped up. See, this word will be popped up, and in the word document, this is a word document which you can edit or change or do something that you want. Many people are thinking that, sir, I want to do the project, final year engineering project. 6-7 months, 1 year almost college is giving. How fantastic the project should be. Understood? In our company, we do not give more than 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's all. Understood? And believe me, we sit on their head and, playing the drummer to get it done within that 2 weeks time. That's all. And in the industry, do you really think that you will get 6 months or 1 year time, final year engineering time? Impossible. We generally make the situation in such a way that within 2 days, 48 hours challenge we call it as. So within 48 hours, boom, you should be finishing whatever the things are required to do, for the industry. Speed. Okay, so this is how actually, please make sure that you cannot acquire that speed. Impossible. You don't know where is the clutch driver, driving skills. Forget about the car racing game. Impossible. You can do that as a part of PUBG or some other games and all. But in the real time, if you really want to work, actually, you need to have a mastery in this. Okay, and this is the real estate industry. Real estate. So you need to be having the real-time projects. Right? Fine. So I hope you really liked this particular video. If you really liked it, please give a thumbs up. If you really loved it, please subscribe to the channel. And one more thing, actually, I would like to tell you, if you really want to be a part of this 12W12M seminar, the series of these things, please make sure that you are filling the form which is given below, because that's the attendance sheet. Okay, based on that only we are going to give the certification. All right. Okay, so attendance sheet which is mandatory. Please make sure that your college and you people have subscribed. If you're not subscribed, actually, not the subscription to the channel, but 12W12M series. All right, so then only you'll get the participation certification. All right, the certification will be given to the college people also who are representing this particular event. All right, so I hope everybody liked this particular session. Okay, and see you in the next month, same time, same place. Bye bye.